So it is the 15th of March, and I'm here speaking to Anne-Marie Waters, and we were going to speak about a couple of other things to do with Hope Not Hate and censorship, but obviously this morning we've all woken up to the devastating news of a terror attack in New Zealand, where at least 40 have been confirmed dead. There was a shooting in a mosque, which has been live streamed to Facebook by someone who was posting on 8chan. Very kind of, I don't know, very inflammatory stuff. And yeah, so I think that might be worth talking about instead, to be honest with you, because I think, as I've just said to you before we started, I think me and you and most of the people that we associate with now, the finger is pointing at us to hear what we have to say about it. And I think, you know, instead of hiding away, I think it's worth having these frank and open discussions about it. I think we need to have that dialogue. So yeah, I don't know, just what are your initial thoughts on, I mean, when did you hear the news?
Not that long ago, actually, just a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
Of course I'm shocked. Of course I'm disgusted. Of course this is, I'm in New Zealand, of all places. This
I
is
know.
a peaceful country. But there are issues here. I unequivocally condemn what happened today in New Zealand or last night. But I can already see on Twitter, I can already see it happening, that people like myself, yourself, people who are honest and open about various political issues, the most difficult political issues, are being essentially blamed for this. There's a problem here. And I know that over the next few days, this is going to continue. It's going to be the quote unquote far right are inspiring this stuff.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some consistency from the media in this regard. So what I completely, of course, any decent person condemns what happened. But the aftermath, the discussion in the aftermath, we must point out the inconsistencies in this. First of all, there will be blame in my direction, in your direction, but the same blame will not go to when a Muslim terror attack, for example, takes place. There's no discussion in the media about what can have inspired them, and certainly no honest discussion, because the honest discussion would reveal that actually the religion inspires them. So we'll have no discussion about what can have made them go so wrong. Was it political alienation? Was it marginalization? There will be none of this discussion at all. You know, there's it'll show up all the hypocrisies in this. And I know this, it may be too early to say this, it may be the wrong time to say this, but look, people have warned of this for a long, long time.
Tommy's warned about it. Tommy's warned about it in his video saying this is going to happen.
He has. And it, you know, I've said myself, if politicians don't listen to the concerns of people, real concerns, the concerns about the complete change in their environment, when the town they grew up in suddenly turns into something completely different, something they don't understand, they don't even understand the languages being spoken. If you ignore that, if you ignore concerns about Islam, and not just ignore it, but actually continue to demonize those with concerns, continue to push them to the margins, actually this is real marginalization we're talking about. But it won't be discussed by the media. It'll be all far right this and far right that. There'll be no discussion about why people are so afraid, and they are afraid because only fear can prompt actions like this. They're afraid. People are afraid. They're afraid of the change in our countries, of Western countries, into something we no longer recognize. And they're afraid of Islam. And they're afraid of the fact that politicians, no mainstream politicians, including the Prime Minister of New Zealand, will reassure them, will say to them, we will never be a Sharia country. Don't worry. There's no reassurance coming. Same here in the UK, no reassurance. The public feels lost.